Hey guys, Cyndaf here and welcome back to Factorio Modded. We are still here. Still here with a copper supply problem because I am just providing too much copper. Because all of this I do not need. I have realised it. I just do not need this much. I just do not need this much stereotype processing at all. It's kind of obvious, really. Just really don't need this much processing because I'm just going to be constantly backed up on copper. But I suppose it's not too big of a problem. Ore processors. What else can I get? Just that. Flotation cell Mark 2s, although I have Mark 1s. Which is fine. What were we doing? That is the question, is what were we doing? I've got 8 red production, that's handy. I need more iron to filter through, don't I? So I need get my iron production back on track. And what we got is just... Sorry, I may sound a little confused because I have literally been playing Factorio every day for the past week on my own game, which I currently have about 47 hours sunk into, so that's why I may be a little confused as to what I'm doing. So we just have too much copper ore. Okay. Instead of just hoping that we can produce enough things that are copper based to alleviate it, why don't we just stop processing the copper? Like that. Just knock everything off. That does knock a little bit too much off, but you know. That also knocks off my my plates. So let's kill this one as well and join them up over here. There we go. That keeps the copper being burnt but not processed. Oh, it's not by these anyway. We'll still get copper feeding in from the north. But that should, in theory, alleviate our copper problem after a while. Flotation cell and leaching plant, I know now what they do. Basically what you do is you use them to turn this... you use a flotation plant to turn this crushed ore into the crystals. There'll be iron, or actually no, it wouldn't. It would be iron ore chunks. It would turn them into chunks, which are what these are. It would turn this into chunks, and then you'd use the leaching plant to turn those chunks into crystals using sulfuric acid. And then you can use another one after that, which would be the thermal refining. I'm getting thermal water extraction at the moment, which is completely useless because there's nothing around for me to use that on. You use this thermal refining for the ore refinery to turn the crystals into purified iron, and you can obviously do it with the base metals as well to get things out of it. And we may actually move into uranium power sooner than later, because I could set it up in theory right now. I do, however, need... there's some giverlite. I need some chrontinium. which doesn't seem to be in the immediate area, so okay, I can't set up now. Unless there's rubite and things around. Some bodmium, rubite, and I've just got sapphirite. There's some bodmonium, and I believe there's that orange patch down there is rubite. Is that rubite? That is rubite. So I could, in theory, make what I need, uranite. I can't remember what is required for fluorite though, so because you need both uranite and fluorite, because you need to make it into fluorine gas and uranite slurry to turn into the uranite hexafluoride, or uranium hexafluoride, which is obviously enriched uranium, but as a gas. And you use that, you enrich that on itself. You don't need any more input than its own self to enrich it up to the suitable level to make pellets, fuel pellets with. And of course there's a byproduct created, the 0.2 uranium pellets, which you can turn into depleted uranium ammo, either machine gun or cannon shells. Right, we have plenty of oil. I've got 2 advanced processors and 1 standard. We're full on light. We're running out of petroleum. Kind of. We've got blast furnaces making ingots. If I ever get enough iron to run through, I may need to step up the amount of blast furnaces I have. But uranium power is very handy in the fact that it just produces an absolute buttload of power with no pollution. Well, other than obviously the mining and refining of the material. With this, the steam generator and the 30 megawatt turbine. 30 megawatts off 1 turbine. And you can run 2 of them off 1 steam generator. So 60 megawatts, which is more than what I'm producing now using burners and steam turbines. So, well, it's quite cheap, so we'll just research that anyway. And it doesn't require blues, so we can have a backlog of blues build up because they're actually quite slow to produce. Mainly because we're missing the iron plates. Well, yeah, we're missing whatever it is we're missing for purple production. No, it literally just needs greens. Okay, greens and blues. Nice, I say that. Greens and blues. It needs fast inserters and green circuits. Yeah, battery production solely for the use of blue science packs. I don't think batteries are actually required for anything else except laser turret production, which we can build, but we've not ever been attacked yet because the enemy is actually just nowhere to be found. But it would be wise to maybe source out some uranium products instead of going through the whole crystal catalyzing thing to produce raw uranite and fluorite, which probably would be the more ideal solution of doing it, because then you don't get byproducts from processing chrontinium and jovolite, which would be iron and copper, because we've obviously got too much copper. Although we could do with more sort of iron input, but we've only got such little iron input due to the fact that we're using standard ore processing facilities down here, and the fact that we have too much in the way of copper chunks, so we just have too much copper lying around in general. Then I could build a couple of blast furnaces down for the copper just to shift more of the processed ore, but then you end up having a net gain even more on copper. So well, who knows? We got filtration. We may need more filtration, but once again, I have boxed it in. Well, there is something we can do about that. We can build the clarifiers. These, which I can attach to the mineral sludge pipe, and it'll just suck it up slowly. Right, that's uranium processing done. We might as well just knock that out of the way. What we need now is radar amplification, because we can only see a small area and we need to find some chrontinium for uranium power if we actually build a uranium power plant. I mean, we are producing enough. I mean, admittedly, we have 30 steam engines, which will put out about 15 megawatts at most, probably, something along those lines. Get the radar efficiency up as well. That way it's not taking half an hour to scan. So we just need a shift. Obviously we're now sifting through more sapphirite. These were making bricks, if I remember correctly. That's fine for now. Plenty of coal. Right, next one. There's our little burner setup. These air filters, I don't actually know whether they're helping or not. I don't think they are, but you know, might as well keep them around. I mean, we could also use the nuclear power or the uranium power to power the steam engines, because you can do hot water exchange. Excuse me. You can do hot water exchange through the reactor instead of using the steam engine. Now we've got it selectable. You can use heat exchangers to swap pressurized water out of the reactor, and through a heat exchanger running cold water from an offshore pump, and that will basically do the same as the boilers, but without the consumption of coal. Which will leave the coal patch completely unused by the time I upgrade my furnaces to electric, which will be about when I build a uranium power plant. I would say it's nuclear, but it's not, because it doesn't use plutonium, so there's technically no fission reaction. It's literally just uranium powered. It's a bit of a leeway for game's sake. I mean, I don't know whether the mod is ever planning to add a proper uranium-plutonium reaction, or whatever is used in nuclear power plants. but this just uses uranium with no uranium decay. There's no decay on the fuel in the version that I currently have installed. It is planned though, apparently. We have more sapphirite if we need it, but I don't think we do. We just need the copper to get its ass moving so that I can carry on producing it. This can stay offline for a while. Alright, we might actually have to help it along a little. How full is this? Completely full. How full is this? Almost completely full. How full am I? Quite full on both there. Well, we are actually getting it pulling through, so it should be alright. Just not in quantities I would deem desirable. But that could be due to the fact that they're just Mark 1 ore facilities. I mean, I could upgrade them to Mark 3 and just get them to shift it through quicker. Also, if I put another faster cell in. But then we'd backlog copper too much. Which we're doing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, we might as well put the old radars down again, if I remember where I actually put them in the first place. Doesn't really matter. This is going to eat up all my power again, so... 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Sector scanning's a little bit quicker. And obviously now I'm going to scan out a little further. But we have gotten to that part of Factorio where you just have to kind of wait for stuff to happen. Got plenty of coils being produced. I should have kind of followed this design on my other game, but never mind. Although on my other game it turns out that even though I have when I'm full on iron plates, I run out on getting copper coils down the line quick enough. They just don't shift down the line quick enough because they're only on one side of the track. But that's a problem we could probably solve later. We do have plenty of space just to put another line in down each side and have iron on one line and copper coils on the other line, and just have one feed in through long-handed inserters, like a pair of them, because they're not as fast as fast inserters. Hence why they're called fast inserters, because they're fast. I read that I'm being produced particularly quick. Plenty of greens, not enough reds. Kind of strange. I'm even using assembling machine 2s on them. Okay, I think we actually need to put down some more stone furnaces. In fact, I could probably upgrade them to steel furnaces. Should have plenty of steel lying about. I could do electric steel furnaces. Now that would be that'd be pushing the boat out a little. Yes, let's do that because we need more iron to be produced. We've got absolutely loads of steel. Steel furnaces, we already need 8, so let's build a few more than 8. We will upgrade them to electric furnaces, which will... I won't be able to put as many down the line, but I will be able to remove the coal line. So, 12 maybe. Let's increase what we're playing with here. Steel should be alright. I may need to put in another 4. I will need to obviously move this transport belt around. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I can build the medium underground belts, can't I? I could just run it sort of. In fact, even with a small one, I could just run it behind the pipe here. I don't know why I struggled putting that in. It's kind of confusing. I have a lot of transport belts left. Let's go and grab some. They're a necessary thing. So, yeah, let's actually do that. Let's get that transport belt out of the way. You, transport belt, you're actually kind of in the way there. So let's just do that. Wait for them to feed through on their own before attaching the other belt. There's no point in that now. No one's going to feed through on the left anyway. Now we can gain those back without receiving any iron ingots in the inventory. And done. There we go. Well, the pump jack is still in the way, so that was kind of a fruitless endeavour, but you know. Right, we can actually just plop those 4 down. Get them set up. That's more radar technologies. Let's just grab a couple more. I could actually start replacing these standard inserters with fast ones. Now that the crafting speed's increased. I will probably need to. Now we can just straight up replace them like that. Oh, forgot to actually put outputs. That would help. Change the line. We probably would only be able to put 8 electric furnaces because of the extra space they take up. But that's fine because electric furnaces you can upgrade to, well, I can upgrade them because I've got the mod to do so. And they'll start kicking, like now we're kicking out even more iron plates, shifting that iron through. I have to research stack inserters as well, and get the standard insert stack bonus. Right, now I've got more iron shifted. Maybe we'll actually get some filtering through down to where I need them. This line will fill up, and it's just emptied a little because I nicked a bunch of transport belts. I could build another 4 steel furnaces here that I'd have to get rid of. And I might just do that, actually. No, we might as well. We can build them. We might as well do it. Suffering a loss of bricks again. But at the same time we're also out of stone, I think. Are we out of stone? We'll get a little of bricks back from the stone furnaces anyway, so I think we may actually be... We are, yeah. we did, if I remember rightly, we did actually run out of crushed stone and dumped it all into the chemical plant. We filled up on copper again. Just these things just produce far too many copper chunks. We have far too much copper ore just sitting around. That they fit in there nicely. So stick on some outputs first. Get the old inputs going. I put you in the wrong place, didn't I? There we go. And we've run out of ingots. Look at that. They are not filtering down enough. Probably because we're not producing enough iron ore. So we're just not getting enough up there. Okay, that line's filled up, so we're just going to have loads being chucked down here now. Because both of these lines are also full, so they're all just going into the greens, which are just chewing through copper cables, which is chewing through copper. Which is exactly what I wanted to do. And now the green line's filling up. The red line is full. I will also have other needs for red circuitry, but that's why I've got that little gap there. And we run out of plates. However, copper plates started moving, so we started burning more copper ore. Well, they moved quite a bit, didn't they? I do still wonder if I should use blast furnaces to turn these into ingots. But we'll just have more sitting there. We don't need you to be doing that, so you may as well use both lines. Not that that was any more useful than, say, just using the one line. But we had quite a bit of copper ore shift there, so... maybe I should only get it to draw from one line. Which also got some plates shifting. We just need things to use copper, or we just need things to use copper. That's what we need. We need things to use copper, or circuits. So what can we build that requires circuits? I mean, I could do processing units, just get processing units production started. Requires green and reds and a bit of sulfuric acid. We're producing sulfuric acid. Probably not enough sulfuric acid, but we do have plenty of it. I mean, I could pipe greens off from somewhere. I mean, doesn't even matter where. The problem is with greens, it requires iron plates for green production, so I rely on iron to shift copper. It's kind of annoying. I mean, that uses iron, that uses fuel or oil. And that uses a lot of iron as well, so I mean, we could just make processing units for now. Or laser turrets or something. Just anything to use copper. I mean, I could start shifting reds, which would use more greens, although they are being used quite extensively already, due to creating blue science packs. Ah, that's annoying. I really just need to shift copper plates, and there's not really one big thing that I can use to shift copper plates with. Except making armor piercing ammo. Uses copper and steel. Steel's not that expensive. I could make a load of armor piercing ammo. I'll need it for like a tank or something anyway, so we could set that up. That'd be fairly easy to set up. I do want my I'm running back this way because I want my deconstructor, which is over here. Recycling machine. Recycle my pistol. I don't know why I've still got it. I have no copper plates on. Flamethrower. I've actually learned that the flamethrower is quite good. At taking out the aliens. They don't like fire. We will need a train at some point. So we'll set up production for probably rail parts. I need you to recycle these, so please do that. Here, okay, stone. So I need to grab some iron plates and some copper plates. So let's grab a bunch of copper plates off the old belt rack. No, that's not enough yet. There, that'll do. That should give them plenty. Right, I do want some iron plates though, because I kind of need them for things. Yeah, grab a bunch. That will then have to refill that, but the fact is we did just nick a bunch of copper. So copper's now moving again. I like doing that, moving copper. Bad, that's now moving. It's probably freed up a bit of this as well. A little bit, but there's still a load of copper sat in there. I mean, this one anyway. So that's slowly producing a little bit of iron ore. Well, we certainly have plates to shift in anyway. Right, let's set up some bullets. Let's set up some bullet production. We have steel running down near copper, so here, that looks good to me. Steel does run all the way down here, but plates don't, so a couple of splitters, medium underground belt, because I'm going to need one. Bring it over here, and we'll set up some bullet production, maybe around here. We'll get a couple of level 2 assembling machines to do that. I only have 2, if you don't mind. I just want to build both at the same time. Right, we'll have that one there, and we'll have that one there. That's radar amplification 4, so that's even more sector scan. Let's get stack inserters because they are actually surprisingly useful. I want that to do that, and we're going to need another one of those. And I want that one to go there. Plates and steel. Should we combine them? We might as well. Let's combine the 2 lines maybe. If we keep them separate. Yeah, let's keep them separate. So we're going to want a belt for distribution as well. There, please. And copper plates. And steel. That one to go there. And exit to... You might as well go to a chest just sat there. Still chest waiting. Look at that. Still chest waiting. Need more medium power poles because they're very useful. Drop that there and drop that one there. So output, output, input, input. Need more long-handed inserters. Input there. Steel input and make armor piercing bullets. There, that should be a large use of copper. Not so much steel because it uses one steel bar, one plate. Not really plates are they? They're I-beams, but that should be a bigger use of copper anyway. And handy because I'll need that later. I mean, unless I start producing depleted uranium rounds, which are just even better. But we need to sell that up later, so because we need to find the ore first, which there does not seem to be any. Oh, there's a little bit down there, the white stuff. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be any in the immediate area. Looks like we've got aliens to the north. Nothing to the south though, which is quite strange. Except there's one little base down here, which we can go and take out, and we literally have domination over the immediate surroundings. Some bases to the west as well. Okay. Okay, so they're now using my copper like I want them to. Red science packs are now fully used. Copper ore is now moving. Copper chunks are moving mostly, but not really. I just have a lot of copper ore that I don't want. I have a lot of copper chunks that I don't want either. So we'll slowly get through all that whilst copper gets used up. still, only using copper plates on one side of the line. I'd like both sides to be used, but never mind. We can't handle it. We can't really do anything about that. It's literally just because of how I set up my factories there. I mean, I could just produce more ammo if I wanted to, but we won't need that much ammo unless I use gun turrets instead of laser turrets. Which would be silly, really, because they're just laser turrets are just better. Right, what else can we do? What else can we get done? That is the question. Probably should set up at least one building for processing units because they are a pain in the arse to make. And very slow to make, and are very useful later on. Other than that, we've not really got anything else to do except research for now. Where's this iron going? This iron's going to make sulfuric acid. At least we'll have plenty of iron for that. Alright, so stacking inserts done. They're very handy. This one gives the standard inserters a extra pickup bonus. Flotation cell 3, leaching plant 2, leaching plant 3 or refinery 2. Obviously it requires thermal refining for that. Could get the surveillance radar, but that requires 5 processing units, so we'll need to set that up. Logistics robots. Now these little buggers are helpful, especially when I want something delivered to me. Is there anything else I need immediately? Don't really need the substation yet. Don't really need the rail tanker either. At least not yet. Could get a car. That needs some tanks. But that does require rocketry and a military 3. The Goliath heavy tank, very, very slow. Not really all that useful because you can't outrun the aliens. I can't get amplification 5. I need effect transmission for whatever reason. But we may as well start on logistics. Because that way I'll be able to get the logistics, the hubs in. Without too much fuss. And since we have this, what can we do to get uranite? Where's uranium processing? Is it in one of these? No, that just tells me what I need to make the stuff. That's where it's like there. Sorting jovolite chunks produces iron, copper, and uranium, and chrontinium produces lots of iron and fluorite crystals. But there is a way I can use brown catalysts, which just require mineral sludge, which is a very handy use of the mineral sludge, to make the uranium power stuff. I could obviously use the crystallizers to make it out of the sludge rather than copper and iron. which may actually be a good idea, but I don't seem to be able to straight up make fluorite and uranite, which is aggravating, which means I need a higher level of ore refining. Yeah, I need ore refining 3. Jovolite, stereotite, and chromatinium crystals, and saphirite, rubite, and bobmonium crystals. And the problem with making the crystals out of the raw ores is it produces a lot of waste water, which you have to do the hydro refining with water. That's why it's hydro refining. But if you do the hydro refining on, say, iron or copper chunks, or crushed iron or crushed copper, it does it cleanly and you just get the chunks. But if you do it on the raw ores, it creates dirty water, which is filled with sulfur, and you have to do it with purified water for some reason. Purified water is easier to come by, and sulfur is really useful, but you have to sort of strike a balancing act between creating the purified water and refining and cleaning the purified water from the sulfur. It's not a 100% return on the purified water when you clean the sulfur out of it. You only get 0.7 rather than the full 1, or you get 7 rather than 10. So if you turn the hydro refiner off, or the hydro plant off, that's creating purified water, you end up running out of purified water for the cleaning process to create the chunks. But if you keep it on, you end up having too much purified water, so that the pumps or the hydro plants cleaning the water can't put the purified water back into the system unless you do some sort of one-way valve system with a storage tank. But then you just end up filling the storage tank up, and when that got full, it all shut down because you can't process the wastewater anymore because you're full of purified water, and the purified water won't flow through because you're full of wastewater. So it's awkward. It's a pain in the ass, basically. So I could switch these over to getting me the uranium power stuff, and that'd actually be a really easy way of obtaining the uranium power materials, which I might actually do, because they produce next to no ores, and they're using mineral sludge, and I have plenty of mineral sludge. I always have plenty of mineral sludge, so I could even just get some more crystallizers or upgrade them to the Mark IIs and the filtration units up to the Mark IIs, but that's not needed for now. So you know what, let's do that. Let's turn these things over to processing for uranium power and cut off their exits and sort of move them, because we're going to be using uranium power somewhere else, because we need a reasonably large space for the enrichment. Oops, I accidentally picked up that bit of copper ore. Little box, you can have it. Right, that's all the copper ore out of my inventory. That's almost all of the copper chunks out of my inventory. This is going well. Right, let's pick up the other side as well. Although I don't want to pick it up from here because I actually need that one. I just need to turn it around. So, right, let me pick up that one then. making sort of that line completely useless for now, but you know, never mind. Okay, so we need to change these over to filter for uranite, and because they have processed quite a bit now. That's logistics robots. We do need the logistics system though. You get logistics robots, but you don't get the system to use it. And fluorite. There we go. Get these to drop on opposite sides. Alright, let's take fluorite up there. Let's take uranite up there. Cool, that's the start of uranium power. So we won't need to go into the whole... I mean, that's a very slow way of receiving the crystals, but it's a way of receiving the crystals without byproducts, which is very handy. So we'll just keep it like that. And we shall just... we need someone to make fluorine, and we need mineral sludge, which is assembly machines. But I'm out of iron plates. Once again, out of iron plates. So we pick a bunch of those, and we'll just do one assembly machine, because why not? We don't really need that much of a production. So what we need to do is we'll do it out of here. We'll do it out of here. There's no real danger really. So fluorine can be, say, what's that fluorine about here? We will need to move uranite though. Flip you around to go that way. Deposit it all on the rails there. I don't really want any in my inventory. There we go. You can come along here and do that. That will be fluorine production. You can produce fluorine gas. You stick there. We need mineral slurry. I want to take it out. Where do we want to take it out? Because... well, we don't need to take it out, we can just pipe it somewhere, can't we? So you need to do uranite slurry, which requires water input. We also need another chemical plant for yellow cake production, which requires sulfuric acid and some empty barrels, but the barrels are recycled, so we just need to create some barrels. But we need a water pipe, and we are nowhere near a water source. There's a water source. Here's a water source. Here is saucy water. I thought I'd get this done quite early, because then we won't be starved for power when my factory increases, because otherwise I'm going to end up producing more and more pollution from steam generation, which I will end up killing. I'll kill that and just run off a reactor. It's hot water. But we're going to do the little cooling tower one, which actually requires processing units to build, so the reactor itself doesn't, because you can just run it off standard heat exchangers and steam. So we may actually end up using a fission reactor just to run the steam vents rather than using the burners, because they're producing a bit more pollution now. What was I here for? I can't remember. We need a bit more iron probably, because we need pipes. grab some of that. There we go. Right, we got that. We got that. We stick you here. Do I have medium underground? I do have medium underground pipes. Look at that. They actually require a lot of iron. So we're going to run that a bit. Also saves me from using all this coal, which I've been using anyway. I'm running all of my inserters on the same side, so they're all just taking from these drills and not these 3 drills, or these 4 drills. But yeah, I do have plenty of coal here. These drills will end up no longer supplying my furnaces once I set up this power, which means I'll have to just reroute this and take it up here. I'll swap these over for electric as well. And my copper furnaces won't need the coal either, so that's a lot of transport belts that I'll recover and end up having a load of coal in my inventory. Right, we got the pipe. Stop distracting myself. At least we'll be able to actually do something in this episode, and it will be setting up this. Right, we've got the logistics system. Cool, cool, cool. Right. Might as well get construction robots. Right, we're going to need some more pipe to ground. We'll put the uranite slurry straight into a tank. So let's get a storage tank. And then the uranite slurry needs to be turned into yellow cake, so let's get a chemical plant for that. That's going to require sulfuric acid, so I'm going to have to pump that over. Okay, and there's the there's those. Almost. There we go. Right, a bunch of those, so just 2 pipes. We're going to need power over here, that would kind of help. Would be kind of useful. Okay, let's move that one there. There we go, full coverage. Stick the tank on the front. And put the pipes down there and there. That now has everything it needs, just need to connect it up to the power grid. Like so, there we go. Oh yeah, I don't have anywhere for the fluorine to go, so let's put that in a tank as well. Now, tank the fluorine. Tank the slurry, tank the fluorine. I'll probably end up using 2 tanks for the fluorine. Uranite's not produced very quickly, but fluorine gets used very quickly. So let's have a second tank, just get that away. Let's put it there and just put a pipe in between them. There, now they'll share. Okay, that's that set up. Let's get the yellow cake set up. So that requires slurry and sulfuric acid. Good, slurry's on that side. So you there and you there. We need to pump over some sulfuric acid, so we're going to need a couple of mediums. We'll get 2 because it's quite far away. We will of course now need to grab some more iron plates, which aren't being produced anywhere near as quick as I want them to be. They'd probably be produced quicker if I got rid of the blast furnaces, but I think it's less than being produced quicker and more of they're just not being able to get shifted out quick enough. But never mind. All we need is is that copper now being, it's not being set down far enough yet for me to bother upgrading this to a Mark III. I will, however, shall I switch him over? I'm going to switch him over to a stack inserter. It's going to cost me a little bit of build though. Just makes me feel a little better. The stack inserters obviously get upgraded more than the regular ones. Plates are still shifting quite well though. You know what, I will actually change these over to making, put these through blast furnaces. Right, it's construction robotics. Get that because it's a cheap research. But we'll do that in a minute. I want to finish doing what it was I was doing before I distract myself with something completely different. There you go, buddy. Try that. You can only put 2 down at a time, but it's quicker than putting 1 down at a time. When they're fully upgraded, they put down something like 5 or 6. There we go, it's shifting through it quicker now. Which means the belts can fill up, but never mind. Alright, good, we're using that. We're using that. And we needed to grab the sulfuric acid, didn't we? And we also need to make a bunch of barrels. So, I don't know, 25 barrels, that'll do. I only meant to make 20, but 25 will do. So, of course you would just sort of give out when I don't want you to. Kind of a medium pipe to ground, are you? The kind that doesn't have the legs. Probably 2 more pipe to ground. I know we're not producing them very quickly, but we have emptied them of mineral sludge, so when things start producing quick enough again, so that's what, 3 pipes for that bit anyway. 1, 2, and 3. Speed module. Okay. Let's get that so I can deconstruct trees without having to do it myself. And 4 for that. Slurry, done. Slurry. Filled with slurry, filled with sulfuric. Should be filled with sulfuric acid. Right, well, guessing it's just not accepting the sulfuric acid at the moment. Now what we need is, well, we can do it with 2 boxes, I suppose. One there. Input, output, swap over. So input barrels. Oh, it's going to take the yellow cake out, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Well, I can now filter out the yellow cake, I suppose. Because the yellow cake is used to make uranium hexafluoride using fluorine gas, which is made in another chemical plant. So that technically can't fill that up with barrels because of the half stack. Though the barrels are being converted into yellow cake, so if I put that there, that makes uranium hexafluoride out of yellow cake and fluorine. So I can literally just put an input like that, and that'll take the yellow cake and output barrels. I'm a genius. Now I just need to pipe over the fluorine. Without getting in the way. So that's going to output 0.7% enriched uranium hexafluoride. And we now have whatever that was I just researched. Automated construction. So we are going to want, I don't know, automobiles. That'll do. Right, let's start using this this old yellow cake. Medium pipe, that can go all the way over, like that. Regular pipe can go there, and we'll do that just nicely. There we go. That's now producing 0.7 enrichment, which is going to be tanked. Right there. That's now producing that. Now we need the enrichment phase, which is going to end up producing 0.2%, so we need another storage tank for that. We're going to need a lot of pipes as well, and we're going to need 8 chemical plants, so we're going to need more steel and iron. Steel's easy, iron not so much, but steel is easy. Give me the steel. You just literally walk up to it and go, I want your steel, so give me your steel. There we go. And iron, we can just run down the steel line. It's cheating a little bit, but we need 5, 7, 8. 8 chemical plants. We also need a factory for making 0.2 pellets and a box to put them in. We have quite a bit of this though, so we best hurry up and start using it. But we're about out of uranite slurry for use on yellow cake, so it's not pumping through quick enough. In fact, it's not pumping through the pipes at all. I could change that with like a fast pump or something. like a small pump. Just pump it through, but that's not really necessary. Let's get that. And get the Mark II crystallizer and filtration unit. Because we're actually out of slag slurry, which is kind of worrying. That's always the way, you either have too much slag or not at all. Saphirite is not moving at all because we have actually run out of production there. On your left. And I'm out of transport belts again. Oh, this is the usual fare. Oh, I can just get rid of this one. There's probably copper still in the underground belt, so we'll leave it there. Oh, there probably isn't copper in the underground belt. I think it's all being put down by the I want to. Extra bit of sapphire production. We're going to run out of sapphire at this rate. We'll have to start using the stuff down here, and then we'll have to outsource sapphire. Oh. I can just sit there like that. Okay, we've got 7 chemical plants. We need 8 chemical plants. And they need to come back in a sort of diagonal line. That is how they do it. We can actually do it this way and go up. So it could be an up diagonal line. So this one would be turning it into 1.2, but it also knocks it down to 0.2. So you have 0.2 on the right there. Storage tank for that. And a little pellet producer. So, right, if we do 1.2 there, and if I separate them with a pipe like this, so that's going to be 1.2 to 1.7, which will then link the 1.7 back into itself, which is why I have the storage tank. Slag processing done. We might as well get advanced ore refining. And then that goes on to 1.7 processing, which links it back into the 1.2. So it's going to go off in a upwards diagonal line, like that. Otherwise it would go off in a diagonal line that way, or that way. Which might be easier if it goes down. Yeah, before I start producing anything, let's have it go that way. So there, 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 and we've run into a problem. So that would go which way? That way, maybe? When travelling back. See, now our drills are in the way, so we'd have to sort of go sideways a little. there, and then there, and there, just so the drills can carry on drilling. So we're going to put them down here. We can just pipe the 0.7 down. A bit like that. And there, 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 and there. And that is 7, not 8. There we go. So 0.7, 1.2, 1.7, 2.2, 2.7, 3.2, 3.7, 4.2, which is the most enriched. You don't have to do up to 4.7. You can use fuel at a lower enrichment. It will produce less heat in your fission reactor. And there's no downside to having more heat or higher enrichment. There's no enrichment decay in this current version. There's no overheating of the reactor. So, yeah. Why not? Let's do that. And that. And link all these up to each other for now, and then we'll have to link them all the way back around. So we need, what, 7 underground pipes. We can only put down 3 because we're out of iron again. Sorry, iron, I'm going to have to utilise you again. That was enough. And we'll have all 8 of those because we need 1 for. We're going to need some more plates on that because we need to build regular pipes as well. No, we go. And once we get this little enrichment chain set up, we are going to have to end the episode because we've been going for an hour now, and yeah, I had to get something done in the episode, even if it was delving into uranium power, which I know I magically seem to know what I'm doing, but I set it up on my single player game, and to do that I had to look up a tutorial video because it's just not very well explained. Really? Well, the enrichment cycle obviously is sort of straightforward, but the whole the reactor bit isn't, because you get the steam generator Mark 1, but it says it's not for use on the 144 megawatt reactor. You're going to use it on the 72. So that means, what do you do with the 144? You have to use the heat exchangers and the steam engines. And there's a thing, and the water pressurizer, and the reactor recirculation pump, and the fast pump. You have to mess with that. For the big reactor, you have to use the heat exchangers. These are small ones. These are bigger ones, and that's a sort of custom one. It's like a wall you build. And I also learned how to set up the reactor properly for uses with heat flow. Right. So that you actually cool heat the water up properly, and not stifle yourself. And we could actually do with a medium pipe there, but we have to use another pipe to ground this off. We're going to need a bunch of those. Get that in there. this is supposed to be creating 0.2 pellets, which will be boxed in a minute. And we need to set up the enrichment cycle. It would also help if I actually put the pipe in the right place. I want it to go there, but I don't want it to link up to this one. Because this one is coming off here, I want it in its own little circuit. So we're going to need another pipe to ground. And more pipes. I want it to do that without... I mean, I could have just used the modded pipes. Ah, 5 more. In fact, not even, I needed 2 more. I guess I need to put the 4.7 in a tank for now, just in case. I mean, I say just in case, I mean we'll have it pipe out into a production facility. Can I build that now? No, I'll have to go and get some more iron. Right, let's put the old power poles down. Make sure they're all linked up. Like, you're in the way. Like so. There we go. The enrichment will start. Kind of. If I actually put this pole in the right place. There. Now enrichment's going. And that will slowly enrich all the way up to there. So, right, we've got 0.2 being tanked. The 0.7 is being used from the enricher, which is good. And not just from here. I don't want it to clog the pipe up, that's all. I would imagine that is being used slowly as well. So there'll be plenty of 0.7 enriched uranium. So that will flow up and we'll have our little droplets up there. So we'll keep that running. They produce enough pollution on their own, to be honest, but then we need to put some blue circuits in production, so we'll end up doing that in the next episode. So thank you all for watching. That's going to be it for today. We have uncovered as much of the map as we can with our current technology. Wow, that's a I don't know whether that's an artifact of me moving the map or what, or whether it is actually just a clear biome divide there. Where it's loaded the map wrong, or whether it generated new terrain using a new model. I'm going to have to go and investigate that with a car maybe, because that's kind of weird. Especially this bit here where it's just angled into the ocean here. That's a little strange. Hopefully that's just an artifact. And that's not actually how it looks, but we'll have to go and find out. Anyway, that kind of distracts me. So thank you all for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below and tell me what you think, or just say hi. I'd very much like to hear your feedback on Factorio, whether you like it or whether I'm doing a reasonable job of running my factory. I'd like to think I am. You can leave a like if you enjoyed the episode, and also share with your friends. It would help me out a great deal, and I'd very much appreciate the gesture if you did. And you can subscribe for more, and I shall see you all later.